program director for New York programs. So our CCAP College Scholarship Cooking Competition is a competition that we have for juniors and seniors in our affiliated high schools. They're able to compete for college scholarships to the college of their choice, and for the juniors, they actually are part of Monroe boot camp that they're able to go to and experience what it's like to be on a college campus and potentially be part of a culinary program. Monroe College is actually a school in New Rochelle that offers culinary education for students, and we always have our preliminary there, and they offer their space to us for juniors, not just from New York program, but from all of our programs, to come in and have a 3-day boot camp to experience what a potential culinary education would be like for them. For any of our students at our high schools, if you are a junior or a senior, you are encouraged to participate in this college scholarship cooking competition. For juniors, you will come into the preliminary competition, and our top juniors are offered a summer boot camp opportunity. If you are a senior and you make it past preliminaries to the finals, you will be eligible for college scholarships. What we do is in October, early in the beginning of the school year, we have our students come into a mandatory information session that provides information for them about what the preliminaries will be about, what the cooking competitions will be about, what they're expected to do. There will be an application that has to be completed. And when we receive that application, if everything is completed and up to what our standards are, we will offer students an opportunity to participate in the preliminary competition first, which is always held in January at Monroe College. After preliminaries, that's when we will determine what juniors will move forward to their boot camp invitation at Monroe and what seniors will move forward to final competition. During the lead up to competition, to final competition, what we have is a practice run available for our senior finalists so that they can get a sense of what the kitchens are going to look like, where their location is, which for us is the Institute of Culinary Education. They allow us to have our finals there. And along the way, starting in October, one of the main things that's really critical to their training and to their process is the culinary instructors. All of them work really hard to prepare our students and to make sure that they're ready for competition. It's not just during the school day. They put a lot of time in after school hours to make sure that our students are really ready to go. They do an excellent job. Typically what happens is we have an information session for the teachers as well. So the teachers get the information up front. They're able to really, they're our partner in that they are always prepared. They know that this is going to happen. And a lot of times they will recommend students that they think would be great for the scholarship program. So a lot of it is our connection with the teachers, and the teachers who are very supportive of CCAP and are always looking to put forth the best students. Students don't have to have any prior knowledge. They're going to get their training and the knowledge that they need for this through their instructors. So if you think you don't know enough, that's not true. You're working with your instructors and you should take a shot at it. One of the things that works really well for students is that they will come out of this with knife skills, which is really important. How important safety and sanitation is in the kitchen, which is very, very important. And then they learn how to pace themselves, timing, speed, how they can put together all of these recipes, but do it in a way that there's a limit. I mean, it's not just open. You have to be able to work within the time that's set. Sometimes can be intimidating, but practicing always helps them walk away with stronger skills. I think that one of the things sometimes students, there can be a lot of pressure, obviously, and sometimes students don't put enough emphasis on just being confident. You're not there by accident. You didn't get to finals just because. You obviously have the ability to do this. You have the skill, and sometimes confidence is lost. One of the biggest things that I say to students, and I've had to say this to them when they feel that they haven't done as well as they wanted to, just be confident. Be sure of your knowledge. You know what you're doing. Be calm, and it's easier said than done. I know that, but I think being confident is huge, and also practice. Don't be afraid to practice. Practice, practice, practice. But one of the biggest things is confidence. Just be confident. You'll be okay.
I'm Dr. Frank Costantino, the Assistant Vice President of Academics here at Monroe College, and also the Dean for the School of Hospitality Management and the Culinary Institute of New York at Monroe College. So in the early 1990s, I was a professor at New York City College of Technology, and into my kitchen walked Richard Grousman, holding his cookbook at home with the French classics, and telling me about this program that he wanted to start called CCAP, and that he was going to be taking teachers from the school systems, the New York City public school systems, and trying to get them to teach culinary arts. So when he made that announcement in the schools, of course, he got a lot of teachers that were history teachers and math teachers and science teachers that jumped at the opportunity to become a culinary teacher, even though they didn't have quite the skill set. And that's kind of where I came in. Richard and I started developing some teacher training at City Tech during the early 90s, and that started our relationship and my involvement with CCAP, which is now going on, I think 30-something years strong. So the CCAP Boot Camp for Juniors that we host here every August is part of the CCAP Preliminary Scholarship Competition. So juniors that compete are competing for an opportunity to come to our campus, live on campus for 4 days, and study with me and train with me for 3 days on the competition format, right? So getting ready for senior competition at CCAP. So they'll come in and essentially they'll get an experience of college life, living in our dorms. It's a working session, so morning and afternoon into the late afternoon, we are in the kitchen. We are going through all of the different disciplines that CCAP is looking for in the scholarship competition. So we're making plenty of omelets. We're doing the famous CCAP salad, knife cuts. We do chicken fabrication. And then I also add to that some additional kind of fun programming. We do some baking, because I know a lot of the CCAP students also have an interest in baking. So we typically have a baking segment. And essentially we cook our own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's also part of the fun of it. And then we do a couple of activities kind of just to get to know each other. They get to know each other as well, because they're from all over different states where CCAP is located. And it's a really fun, a way to end our academic year, because it happens right at the end of our spring semester, which is the end of our academic year. So we always look forward to that. What I tell young people is that you really need to identify within you that thing that fosters a growth mindset, right? Where you want to put yourself into a situation where you become better every single day, right? Whether it's in your schoolwork, whether it's in your competition work for CCAP, whether you have a job that you're working with your family, with your loved ones, you want to always be the best version of yourself and strive to be that every day. So that carries us into competition, right? There's a format that we have to understand. There's the willingness to put ourselves into that situation. It's a lot of pressure for young people. But what I tell them is that the ultimate growth comes from your level of discomfort going through something, right? That's how we grow. We become uncomfortable, we're learning, and we finally get it, and that's the growth. So same is true in the competition format. Initially, students have a hard time with timing, hard time with the exacting nature of the skills that they're learning. So put that all together becomes very challenging for the students, right? But again, what I tell students after the fact always is that you're a better culinarian right now than you were when you woke up this morning having gone through this process, right, of competing and feeling what that feels like. And a larger piece of this is if these are students that are interested in pursuing careers in culinary arts, competition mirrors exactly what we do in industry, right? We serve food under pressure in a very timely manner. People do not like to wait for food when they're hungry. We serve it safely, right? So good sanitation, and we serve it delicious. I mean, I don't know that there's any more basic, perfunctory understanding of what we do in the hospitality industry on a daily basis. So competition is a microcosm of that.
My name is Zoe. I'm 17 and I go to Tottenville High School. I think I've always liked culinary and anything food related when I was a kid, but I didn't realize it was something I wanted to do until I got to middle school and I started watching a lot of Food Network, and then I just started dabbling in making all different types of baked goods. I watched a lot of Kids Baking Championship. 2 reasons. 1, I wanted to do it for myself, and 2, my teacher, Chef Deana, she always was anyone who was interested in going into the food industry, she encouraged us to participate in it. I've been preparing for the competition by first starting making everything individually. That way I get an idea of the recipe and how everything's supposed to be made. And then once I've got all of that down, I put it all together and start to organize my timing efficiently so I get everything on the plate. I would say my biggest challenge is just figuring out the timing, but once I figure out the timing and get myself organized because of the amount of space that I know that we're going to have and how I want everything to be, that's difficult in the beginning, but once I know what I'm doing, I'm on track and focused. As of right now, I am going to Johnson & Wales University. So that is what I plan to do after high school. I'm going to be studying food and beverage industry management. It's a bachelor's degree, but it's a 2+2. So the first 2 years is an associate's degree in baking and pastry. I would say CCAP has been helpful in me understanding what it's actually really like to work in the food industry. Very fast paced, everything's going, there's no stopping, it's just go, 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 go.
Hi, I'm Arianna Valentino. I'm 17 years old and I go to Tottenville High School in Staten Island, New York. I got into the culinary arts from my family, from always seeing them like cooking for holidays and stuff. Like it became a tradition to always cook and bake like homemade meals, and that inspired me to spread the same joy my family had throughout the holidays to people. I wanted to compete in this competition because I wanted to show that, because I'm a very anxious and nervous person, so I wanted to prove to myself that I had the confidence to be able to go out into this career and actually prove to myself that I'm able to make all of these delicious dishes for everyone. I've been preparing by practicing every day since the start of March. I've been staying to school until 4 o'clock to perfect these recipes. Some hurdles is probably, like I said, with my anxiety. I'm a very anxious person, so it's hard for me to actually go out and perform for everyone to show these intricate dishes. And some people who's been really supportive is definitely my teacher. She's been pushing me through everything, all of the challenges, anything I've had difficulty with. And definitely my parents are with me every step of the way to make sure I'm able to go through all of this. After high school, I got accepted into Culinary Institute of America, so I will be going there to finish off my schooling. And with the help of the professors and teachers there, I want to be able to cook and bake for all of these professional athletes, stars, and anyone that I'm able to help, because I want to spread the joy and get my name out there in the world. It was in middle school and we had a college day and we had to research all the different colleges, and I saw that one specific school and my heart's been set on it ever since. CCAP is very important because it opened the door to a lot of opportunities, because without me even competing, I wouldn't have been able to have the opportunity to internet all these different restaurants that they offer, or even be able to do this interview or meet anyone at the gala or anything. I'm able to spread my knowledge about everyone, if that makes sense.
Hi, my name is Deana. I'm a culinary teacher at Tottenville High School on Staten Island. In 1997, I competed for a scholarship for CCAP, and I won a full scholarship to French Culinary Institute. I did that. I loved it. It was amazing. I worked in a restaurant for many, many years, and then I stopped for quite a few, but I always had food as my background. And then about 3 years ago, I got offered a job teaching at Tottenville High School, where I graduated from, teaching now the CCAP to my students. And it's truly amazing. When I teach my sophomores, I introduce them to CCAP. I talk about it, I talk about scholarships, I show them pictures of the competition, and I try to get them ready. So as I'm doing knife skills, I'm teaching them that this is what you're going to be doing when you're a junior. When you're a junior, I kind of hone in on the children that I see have a special flicker in their eye when they're cooking and they love it, and then I encourage them to compete for a scholarship as a junior. And then when they're a senior, we do a lot of prep work, we do a lot of cutting, we stay after school a lot, and I kind of just hone in on their individuality and how they like to learn. Some of them are perfectionists and they want to do the recipe over and over and over again, and I'm just there to support them. And some just kind of take a back seat and just listen to critiques that I say, and they kind of watch the videos that CCAP shows them, and then they just do it. So it's a lot of fun for me to see the process of each individual student, and I kind of just roll with what they feel comfortable doing. So my advice for future students is just to do it. Be afraid, go in with much anxiety and fear as it is, because once you're done, that sense of completion that you did something so amazing by competing in a scholarship like this is really the reward in itself, not necessarily the scholarships that you earn or the acclimates. Just the fact that you did something that you were so afraid to do and you rocked it is really my goal of all my culinary students who compete in CCAP.